Question 2. Nathan owns a factory that produces and sells leather jackets and leather purses. The cost of making a leather purse is 30,000 Rand plus 210 Rand per purse, right? So on top of the 30,000 Rand, she still has to pay 210 Rand per purse. This 30,000 is a fixed cost. Let's see. Nathan sells leather jackets at 500 Rand each and the purses at 350 Rand each. The cost for producing a leather jacket is given by the following formula. So the fixed cost here, it's a total production cost of leather jackets, is equal to 54,000. This is the 54,000 Rand, which is her fixed cost when it comes to leather jackets. And then she still has to pay 150 Rand for each jacket. Table 3 below shows the total cost and the total income for the jackets. So total cost and income for selling leather jackets, name of jackets, number of jackets, 0. So the total cost if you did not make any jackets would be 54,000 Rand. And if you did not sell any, you make no money. So that's, like I said, that is the fixed cost as it's given on the formula there. And then if you make 100 jackets, it will be 54,000 Rand plus the 150 times 100. You see how I did that? So the amount there is 54,000 Rand plus 150 times 100. That's how they got that. Always do that. Always do the calculations of the ones that you are given. That way you can figure out how the unknowns are done. So let's do that and check. So if I say 150 times 100 will be 15,000. Now if I add 54,000 to that, I get 69,000. So that's how they got the 69,000. And then I can easily calculate C because I know now for a fact that they use that formula above there. And for 700 as well, and 800 and 1,000. So now let's talk about income. If she doesn't sell any jackets, then if she doesn't sell any jackets, then she will may not make money. But if she sells 100 jackets, she makes 50,000 Rand. I can already see her income is less than her expense. So here she's making a loss. And if I go to 700 jackets, she made 350,000 Rand from 700 jackets. And she only paid 159,000 Rand for the jackets. And her income is she made a profit here. All right. So explain the meaning of the term break-even cost in this context. Now, again, we're talking about in this context. So the break-even point based on the information here. This is a business, so there's income and expense from the business. So if the income and the expense are the same with the same number of jackets, then we say the business have broken even. So we must be talking about the same number of jackets for the income, same number of jackets for the expense, and they make the same amount. Then we have no profit, we have no loss. So break-even is when the business income and expense is the same for the same number of jackets. So a cost for producing leather jackets. So as you can see on the formula there, it says 54,000 plus, and then there's the variable cost. So this is the fixed cost. You see here, you can see it on the table as well. Calculate the missing values C and D. So let's start with C. C is simple. If you look there, C is the total cost of the jackets, and we have the total cost of the jackets right there. The formula, we use that and we get C. C is equal to, and then we say 54,000. So first let's 50,000. So to make, so that would be 104,000. If you look at D, D there is the total income. I'm first going to check with 700. You can check with any of them. I'm just going to check with 700 how to get D, how they got 350,000. Ethan sells the jackets at 500 Rand. So I'm thinking that if you sell one jacket, you make total an income of 500 Rand. If you sell 2 jackets, you make an income of 2 times 500 Rand. So I'm just going to check if 500 times 700 gives me 350. Yes, it does. It's 350,000. So I know how to calculate D. With D, I just have to is equal to a cost of one jacket is 500. Then you multiply that by 700. Now it's 800. You multiply that by 800, and then you get Show with calculations that the total income of selling 600 jackets and 800 purses is 58% of 1 million rand. It requires a lot of thinking. So what do they want us to show? They want us to show that the total income. So if you sell 600 jackets and you sell 800 purses and you put that money together, it is 58% of 1 million rand. So that'll be 2.1.4. I'm going to calculate for jackets first, and I'm going to say jackets. So this is all income, and a jacket is sold for 500 rand. So if I multiply that by 600, I get rand. And then I'm going to calculate the cost for purses. And the cost for purses, each purse is 300 rand. It says there each purse is sold for 350 rand. Multiplied by 800 purses. They said, remember they said there is 600 jackets and 800 purses. So let's calculate for the purses. 800 purses, and that will be 80,000 rand. And then we add the two together because they said the total income. So total there is equal to 300,000 plus 280,000 we made from the jackets and the purses is 58% of 1 million. They're saying the money that we made from the jackets and the purses is 58% of 1 million. Let's check if this is 58% of 1 million. So what I can do is, this 1 million rands is written in words. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to say rands. So how do I press this in a calculator? This is 1, right? This one is 1, and million, I need to times that by a million to change it to numbers. So now I have 1 million rands. See how I change that? So that when it's 2, when it's 3, then you know how to get it. And then when it's 1.1 million, and you also know how to get it. Now they're saying 58% of this amount is that day. Let's check if 580,000 is 58%. So what we do is we're going to multiply that by 58% because they said 50% of 1 million. Let's do is they say 1 million multiplied by 58. They forget the hundreds there. So what we do is the next step is we say, but you're in grade 12, you don't need to do it like this. I'm just reminding you of that. 580,000. So that is the same as that. So the last question there says a line graph represents the total cost for producing leather purses is drawn on answer sheet. Number of leather purses and the total cost of leather purses with the amounts in rands there and the total cost and income for leather purses. Right. So are they asking us anything? Draw on the same set of axes the line graph representing the total income for selling leather purses. Right. So the first thing we're going to do is where it's very important to clearly indicate where the graph is starting. Now, we're going to see that on our question, on our table. The table here shows us where the graph is starting, the income graph. So the income graph here is going to start at 0. Number of jackets. That's, let me show you where that is. That's the number of jackets. So the 0 that we're reading is that one. So that is right. So let's do the second one. I'm only going to do 2. The second one is 100 jackets will give you 50,000 rand. So let's plot that. 100 jackets, that's 100 right there. So this entire line here is 100 jackets, right? Now, let's find out how much is 100 jackets. We said that 100 jackets is 50,000. So 50,000 is right there. So this entire line is 50,000. This line is 100 jackets. And where they meet, the money and the jackets, you get our plot there for the graph. Let's try another one. 400 jackets give you 200,000 rand. Where is 200,000? There is our 200,000 rand line right there. If you go there, you'll see the line. But then we have 400 jackets. And where is our 400 jackets? Right there. So where they meet, where the 200 rand line meets the 400 jackets, then you plot the graph there. Right? And then you just join your lines and your graph is drawn. Then at the end, you make sure you label your line.